everyone. I guess I should probably say welcome to my channel because this is a bit different and new for us on Cricut for Australians. So forgive me, I'm still working on some technology and I may not be able to see everyone's comments, but I'm hoping that they will pop through. I'm not sure, like, please come on and comment and say hi so that I know that you're watching. I'll keep checking, but you know, I don't want to waste a lot of time because, you know, we are live and I'd love you guys to see all about engraving. And your names will probably look different to what I'm used to seeing in Cricut for Australians. So, you know, I'm sorry if I can't pronounce any usernames. So I've got a couple of people saying hi, so hi back. I know this is really new, but I think this makes sense for us to do our lives through YouTube. It's easier for you guys to view all of the playback for it. You won't have to worry about, you know, trying to be tagged in the post again or the post, you know, disappearing somewhere. And also it's really good for Paul and I. So, you know, potentially, you know, we get some subscribers and, you know, we can make our millions. No, but in all seriousness, you know, we really appreciate the support that you guys give us each and every week. So we couldn't do this without you guys. So I guess I should probably get started. I may not be able to see every comment. It's a little bit different of a setup. Like I said, if you have a question, can I ask you to put it in capitals? That way I can actually see that, you know, I won't accuse you of shouting at me, but I'll be able to see that you're actually asking a question and that I need to take notice of it, sort of thing. So what we're going to do is there's going to be a few projects. Sorry, I just need to be able to see what I'm doing. There's going to be a few projects that we're working with today, and I've sort of paired up to get some assistance from a different couple of suppliers. So the first one I want to talk to you about, guys, is, and if anybody's watched Paul's video from Sunday, I think it was, it's Exo Craft Blanks. Now, Amy from Exo Craft Blanks sent us these amazing little kits, which are her acrylic blank kits. So they're just a little bit of a mystery box. If you're looking to find out more information about what comes in the box, I've posted the link in the comments or below. But Paul has also done an unboxing of it on Sunday over on his channel, which is Scissors Paper Paul, if you look him up. Let me just make sure I'm getting all of the comments. Awesome. So I wanted to sort of touch base on this one first because Amy was so blown away by the amount of support and how many people purchased one of these boxes that she's managed to put together another, I think, 30 boxes for us. So thanks, Gail. So yeah, so it's really good that she's able to put through another 30 of these boxes. But I must warn you that they will be probably a sellout. So she's going to have these in the link below, but they're going to go live at 7:15 on the dot. So this is just to give you guys complete fairness, along with any of her regular customers, complete fairness in terms of purchasing. So that's 7:15 Australian Eastern Standard Times. Now, Paul's gone through and he's shown that there's a whole bunch of acrylic key rings that you can use for engraving or vinyl. But what I'm going to focus on today is the really cute earring holder. Now, that probably just looks like a piece of brown acrylic to you guys, but it actually has some little holes in it just for your earrings. So I'm going to change over to the top view so you'll be able to see a little bit more. Alrighty, so now you can see this a little bit better. So you can see here it's got some holes and I'm actually going to pop a name in the middle there. Alrighty, so I think first and foremost we probably need to get our designing happening. Now I'll just quickly show you, it does come with a little stand so that it will stand up when it's done. But we'll go over to Design Space and we will start designing what we're going to do. Alrighty, now just ignore the raw because that's another project and I'm going to hide that for the moment. Thanks, Paul. And to everybody that has said hi to me, I'm sorry, thank you and hi. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm actually going to put, I think I'm going to put my sister's name on it. I hadn't even designed this up. So I've just gone into text and I've just typed her name. But what I want to do is I want to sort for my fonts and find any that are writing fonts. So we're just going to filter that way. So now I'm just going to pick a font that might look nice. Well, I hope it looks nice. Maybe Anna's Fancy Lettering. This is pretty cute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to decrease the letter spacing just so that it flows a little bit better. So I'm just decreasing it. I'm actually not a fan of that font once it's all joined together, so I might just find another one because I'm super duper picky. Alrighty, this one looks cute. Hi, So Crafty SC. Oh, go down, Natalie. I don't know why I'm doing this. I'm trying to use the, I should just use my mouse. So I'm just going to ungroup them and just move them slightly apart just so that they engrave well. And once we've got them all together, we just highlight them all and attach so that they all stay together. Now, if I just briefly come over to the overhead view, I'll just show you how I size up. So I've just got my ruler here and I work in inches. So I know that I need it to be no more than probably about an inch in height, so an inch between there and there. Just in case my measurements are off, I like to give myself a little bit of room. And then probably no more than 4 inches wide, but it probably won't be that. It'll probably be closer to the 3. So we're going to come back to design space and we're just going to size this so that the height is about 1 inch. But I'm actually going to just stretch it so that the width is about 3. So that's pretty cute, in my opinion. And then next we're going to come over, oops, sorry, missed a step, of course, cancel. At the moment you'll see that it's set to draw line type. What we need to do is change that so it's engrave. So I need to make sure, number 1, that my machine is set to maker. And then I come up to the line type section and change that down to engrave. And you'll notice that all of the letters have individually changed to engrave. Yes, Carol, that is this is from the lovely Amy at Exocraft Blanks. So another one of her boxes, or another 30 of her boxes, will be live for sale at 7:15. Alrighty, so we're just going to come over and we will let's work out placing it. So first off, I'm going to cut back to my overhead only so that you can see how I place it on my mat first, because how I place it on my mat will determine how I place it and space it in design space. So for this, I'm going to use a purple mat and I'm going to just take off the top layer. I leave the bottom on just so that it's got something that it will stick to very well, and I don't want to get any of the gunking and stickiness of the mat onto the acrylic if I can get away with it. So I'm just going to open that, put that in the bin. Now, I haven't sized this up yet, but I'm going to work with it. I'm going to center on the 6-inch. So what I've done here is I've made sure that there's 3 inches on either side roughly, and then it's going to be roughly the same top to bottom. So you can see here that's about 3.5 inches, and then this side is about 3.5 inches. It's probably a little bit more on the top. Now once I've got that positioned where I want it to go, I give it a really good brayer because I want it to stay nice and stuffed down there. Couple of questions. So Carol got hers from Amy today. That's amazing. Deidre is waiting for her box to arrive. Awesome. Lots of interest for those boxes. So now that I've got that one, I'm going to go back over to design space and we can talk about how we space it out. So I know that the center of my design is sitting on the 6 by 6 inch. So if I look here, I need it to kind of sit in the middle of the 6x6. So you'll see here that the blue box around here, I try and make that even, just so that it's even top to bottom and side to side. Now, it's not perfect, but remember when you go to put it on your mat and feed it into the machine, it may move slightly anyway. Alrighty, so Jessie's happy for this tutorial, so she's going to be making them soon. Deidre needs to buy her engraving tool. You're going to love it. So once I've got this all set up, I'm going to go and click continue. And I'm going to select my machine. And hopefully my internet works. Norma's looking forward to her getting her maker so she can engrave. Now, if I go into browse all materials, you'll be able to see what materials are compatible with engraving. So it'll only give you the options that are available with engraving. So what we are doing is we are engraving acrylic, and it's 2 millimeters in thickness. So hit done. So now what it's telling me to do is to load my mat, put my engraving tip in clamp B, and away we go. So I'm going to pop us back over to the overhead so you can see here. First, before that, what I want to do is just tape it down a little bit. So I'm just going to tape it down on the top and the bottom. Who has engraving tools in stock now? I believe I have seen some people say that Spotlight have engraving tools in stock, but it's select stores, so you might have to ring around your stores. So what I've got here is my engraving tip. It's the one that looks like a little cone on the end. It's kind of sharp. If you really did want to stab yourself, you could. Please don't. Okay, so the boxes I'm talking about, Hutch and Hutch 02, is I put a link in the description below, but they're a bunch of cute boxes with acrylic blanks that you can use for either engraving or vinyl. So you get some key rings, some key tags, some cake toppers, an earring holder, which is what we're playing with today. They'll be available at exactly 7:15, so you've got 3 more minutes, guys. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pop in the engraving tool into my clamp, give it the final brayer just to make sure it's stuck nice and good. Oh, hi, Melissa. You'll have to subscribe to the channel. That way you don't miss it and you'll get a reminder. Alrighty, so now that we're looking at the overhead, I'm just going to tell my machine to start and hope for the best. So fingers crossed, guys. I'm going to answer a few more questions. I'll just let you guys see what's happening with it though. So Wendy has the tool, but she's a bit daunted by doing acrylic. Well, hopefully, Wendy, this will help ease your mind. You'll be able to just see how easy it actually is. Actually, I'm just going to pause it because I did forget one thing, and these are the white bits here. Might help if I move them. I'll have to do it afterwards. Normally you would want to remove the white things, but they're not moved. I forgot to do them in this instance. Alrighty, so I don't know if you can see, but it's very lightly engraved her name. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move them and I'm going to tell it to engrave again. This way it will engrave in the exact same place. So we'll just let that go a little bit. Yes, Carol, they are definitely well worth it. They did sell out probably in about 15 minutes when Paul announced them on Sunday. Thanks, Melissa. I got them changed yesterday. My sister just decided this was the color I would get. So you guys will be able to keep track of my nails. Alrighty. So what we've done is we've engraved it. Now what I like to do is I like to take the tape off the engraving and use it to clear up any of the bits and pieces. So any of the shards of the acrylic, well, it's not really a shard, but you want to clean it up as nice as possible. So that's all done, and likewise just turn your mat over and remove your mat away from your acrylic. That way you don't risk snapping your acrylic. Now I'm just going to remove the backing just so you guys can see what I've done. Whoops. And I'll give her a bit of a clean. I didn't realize it was going to be back to front with my words, so I'll see if I can get this looking a bit better. So we've just engraved my sister's name, but I'll take a really nice photo and show you that tomorrow. Thanks, Amy. Boxes are now live, guys, so jump on and grab one. So now I've got the box here. Looks amazing. It is definitely a great box, Rebecca. Sorry, my thing's a little tight, so I'll have to pop it in tomorrow because I don't want to risk breaking it on the live. But that's all done. It's hard to show you, like I said, but it's all done with my sister's name. So next up, we'll talk about the next project I'm going to work with. So I wanted to show you guys, before we did all things acrylic, I wanted to show you guys just how simple it is to work with anodized aluminium. So these are aluminium business cards. Sorry, you can't really see because I'm wearing black. These are aluminium business cards. Now, I got them for about $10 for 100 on eBay. You can get them in multiple colors. I've got black and pink at the moment, but you can get red, probably gold, and whatnot. They're really, really lightweight. And the great thing about this is you can actually make tags out of them. So, sorry, I'll have it so it's glary so you can see where it is. So you can make tags out of it. These are actually flimsy enough that you can use a hole punch in to create a hole for your tag. So what I like to do is put little, like, with thanks or happy birthdays on them or something like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump over into Design Space once again, and we're just going to design something up to make a little tag. Alrighty. Deidre, you don't have to mirror. Some people mirror because they like the engraving to be on the back of your acrylic. I don't have a preference, but if you want, you can mirror it and just put it on the back of the acrylic. It's not relevant if you're working with the business cards because they aren't see-through. So I'm just going to click Finish. And what we're going to do is go over into Images, and we might look up something birthday related, or maybe we'll look up with thanks. Beck is happy she got one. Alrighty, so I'm just going to go through and just have a look. Now that I'm here looking at images, what I want to do is I can either look for something that is in the art type as draw only. So that means it'll draw where the lines are. If you don't, then what you need to do is you will just engrave the outline of where you would normally cut. I might do, even though it's a demo, I always do this every single time. I always second guess what I'm making. So I'm going to insert this image here, and it just says thank you. Like we mentioned before, it just has the line type as draw. What we want to do is change that to engrave once again, and you'll notice that it's changed to engrave here. Now, the size of these business cards are about 2 inches wide, so I probably want to make my design about 1.8 inches, just so that it sits in the middle of the design. Now, you can, and I will in this instance, just resize this a little bit. It doesn't matter if it goes slightly out of proportion, it will still say thank you. I'm going to click on Make It now, and we're going to talk about how I position this one. So, come back over to the overhead. We've got our business cards here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to position it on, let's go on the 1 inch by 1 inch. Now, it's going to sit slightly above, but what you'll notice here is that it sits probably 1/4 of an inch above and 1/4 of an inch below, but it sits nearly flush on the 2 inches and the 1 inch and the 3 inch. So I'm going to go over to Design Space, and I'm going to position my design sort of in the middle between the 1 inch and the 3. I know it's not going to go to the height of the 1 inch or the 4 down here, so I'm just going to position it quite in the center of that. Keeping in mind up the top here, we're going to probably give it a little bit of a hole punch, so I might position it slightly lower. Hi Gail, how are you today? So then I go over to Continue, and I select my machine again. Whilst the machine is doing its little bit, I'm just going to quickly tape the top and the bottom. So once again, we need to go into Browse All Materials to find our materials. And in this case, we are actually going to work with anodized aluminium. And click Done. So that's the setting that I'll use for the for the aluminium business cards. Now it's asking us to load the mat, so I'm going to pop over here. So just loading the mat, and I'm sorry I didn't turn this camera around so that you would see it in reverse. Now the first thing I notice is that my stars are right on top of where I want to engrave, so I'm just going to pull them to the side. And, oh, Gail just got one of the boxes, I'm thinking. Or did you just jump on? So now that we're here, we're just going to tell it to engrave. So press Start. Alrighty, so Sharon used some of those, but the phone numbers, to do the phone numbers for her dad to keep in his wallet. That's actually really smart, because even if your wallet goes in the wash, it's not going to come out wet and dirty and gross and moshed up together. Oh, great. Thanks for clarifying, Gail. So we're just going to engrave this one. It doesn't actually take long to engrave. However, if you do larger engravings, it will take a little bit of time. I've done a few that have been a couple of hours long. One of them being a very complex mandala. Wendy just got her box. Julie got hers. Vicky got hers. How many are left, guys? How many does Exo Craft Links have left? Be very interesting to know. Alrighty, so we're just going to eject the mat. You can already see up close. I'm sorry it's reversed, but you can see up close that it says thank you. Once again, I'm just going to remove, because this is metal, it's more important to dab this one because you want to get rid of any little tiny metal shards that could get into anywhere and create infections. So I'm just going to dab over the top here. Looks pretty clean, and you can see the tape just gets really dirty. So it's definitely nice and clean now. There's 13 left, says Norma and Julie. Make sure you jump on, guys, if you want one. And like we did before, just curl your mat away from the aluminium. And so what I will do is I'll come in and I will pop a little hole in that later. I didn't bring my hole punch over to here. And I'm sorry it's flipped. It is the correct way. This is not mirrored. This is correct. It's just you guys can't see it. So I'll pop a hole punch in that, and next time I'm giving a gift, I'll put some ribbon in it and give it to my recipient. So that's that one, and it's really simple. Like I said, they're very cost effective. Who was it? Sharon did some so that they were in the her dad's wallet with all the phone numbers on it. They're not completely indestructible, but they're a good option, especially if you've got someone who likes to put things through the wash. Give me a moment, I'm just going to grab a drink of water. Okay, so Beck, the box is an acrylics blank box from Exo Craft Blanks. It's got about 20% discount on the overall value of the products, and she's only got about 13 left. So I've put the link in the description if you want to jump on and give it a go. Alrighty, so lastly, what I wanted to talk to you guys about is something that's kind of exciting for me as well. But I got this cute little dinosaur from Laser Blanks. Now, obviously, I got it with the little stand. I haven't taken the stand out yet because I would lose it. If I did, I'd lose all the cords. But it's just a night light. Now, Laser Blanks have a whole bunch of different ones as well. They've got dinosaurs, they've got castles, they've got, you know, you name it. I can't pick enough because I feel like at this stage, nearly everyone I know has a nightlight that I've made for them. So, what we're going to do is we're going to talk a little bit more about getting a better engraving or a deeper engraving on your nightlight. 8 boxes left, guys. So, and make sure you stay till the end because I have some amazing news to announce about Laser Blanks. So, don't go anywhere. For now, we're going to jump on over to Design Space so we can talk about designing this project. Alrighty, so I'm just going to clear away the thank you. And what I'm going to work with is my little hidden raw. I didn't have anybody... Oh, no worries, Janine. This will be available for the replay anyway, so don't worry. But if you stay till the end, you'll get all of the goss on what's happening. Right now, we're talking about Laser Blanks and the little dinosaur nightlight that I've received from them. So what we're going to do is I'm going to actually take this raw saying and I'm going to pop it in the belly of the dinosaur. First off, I need to do is change the line type to engrave, like we've done with every other one. So it is well and good to say that this is going to be well enough to just go ahead and engrave right now, but I want to make sure that it engraves over and over and over. So I'm going to actually duplicate it 3 times so that it engraves in the same spot every single time. If I select them all, which you can see they're selected down in the right-hand side, you can see they're all grayed out. I'm going to then click up into a line and I'm going to center them all so they sit exactly on top of each other. Once done, I'm going to click on attach so that they stay all together. So that attach button is like a really good paper clip and it just holds it all together. By then coming over to the make it screen, you'll see that it does look a little bit darker for that outline. So I'm going to place it right in the middle once again of the 6 and the 6. It's my little sweet spot there, I feel like. So if I place it central in the 6 and 6, and then we'll come over to placing it on the mat as well. So we'll click on continue. We'll select our machine. We'll wait for my internet to work. We'll go to browse all materials. And right down the bottom, once again, we're working with 2mm thick acrylic and click on done. It tells me to make sure I have my engraving tip in clamp B, nothing in A, load the mat and press the start button. So we're going to jump back over so that you can see how I'm going to do this one. So first off, I'm going to remove the paper on that. So my nails, whilst they are looking pretty, they're not great for picking up things. So I always just have my weeding tool and I pick a corner. Tracy's excited. She got her box as well. So we just remove the paper. And make sure you remember that the acrylic from pretty much nearly every blank supplier will most likely come with this protective layer on it. I know a lot of people will receive some of their acrylic and think it looks really dull or ugly and it wasn't what you ordered. Make sure you check that there isn't a coating on it, because most of the time they will leave it on to avoid any scratches. Alrighty, so we've taken off my acrylic. And what we want to do is we want to kind of place the center of my dinosaur belly, which is here, pretty much in the center of the mat. So that's pretty central for me. I feel like that will work. And I'm just going to give it a brayer down so it stays nice and stuck. And once again, we'll grab our masking tape, or you can use painter's tape, and just give it a tape in different areas. You want to make sure you're going to avoid taping anywhere that will engrave. Oh, Wendy says there's 3 left. Julie says there's 4. So we're just giving it a nice tape. And it doesn't have to be overly taped for this acrylic. If the design was more complex and you were going to have a lot more cut lines, then definitely tape it down stronger. But for something quite basic like my raw design, this will be enough. So Beck's not sure if she needed it, but she bought one. That's the power of social media for you. You get that peer pressure happening. So now that I've got it all taped down, I'm just going to move my star wheels over slightly. You can just make sure it avoids any of the acrylic and load the mat. Janine, the boxes we're talking about, I've got a link in the description. The box is from Exo Craft Blanks. It's an acrylic sampler box. It comes with the original earring holder. It's hard to see, but the earring holder that I did at the beginning of the lesson or the class. And then the rest of it is, there's a whole bunch of key rings, bag tags. We've got some cake toppers. Great for anything for engraving or anything for vinyl. So it comes with some circle key rings, some hexagon key rings, bag tag, bauble, which is in there somewhere, and 2 cake toppers and an earring stand. And I think there's a surprise as well. I didn't get the surprise, I don't think, but there's a surprise. So get onto it. Wendy got one of her boxes. There's only a few left, Janine, so get in there. Alrighty, so now that we're here, we're all pressed down, and we'll tell it to go. Now remember, I copied this 3 times and attached it to itself. So it should do the design 3 times in the same space. So I'm just going to check to see if I've missed any comments, guys. Alrighty, so I don't think I've missed any comments, so that's good. Anne Clark got one as well. Alrighty. So this live seems to be quite quick and simple, because it is. I really would love for you guys to just sort of, you know, gain your confidence with working with the acrylic. So it's not something that, you know, it's complex to do, but I do think that because of the cost of the blanks, a lot of people get a little bit scared just to try it. By all means, oh, Norma said all of them are gone. So thank you to everyone who purchased. I don't get any of that money, but thank you. So now that we've got this, we're just going to take it off. Like I said before, we just give it a dab to get rid of any of the bits, the shardy bits that have dug out. and take off the tape. Sorry, Janine. Alrighty, so once again, mat upside down, take your dinosaur off the mat, and I'm just going to take off that backing. And while I'm doing that, how's everyone's day been? Or afternoon or night? Can't see any comments coming through, so hi Penny. Yes, Janine, definitely set a weekly alarm. However, if you subscribe to the channel, both mine and Paul's, it will send you a notification beforehand. So mine with Paul sends me an email, or if I'm online, it'll come up with a pop-up to say that I am ready for the reminder to be set. So you can ask it to set a reminder every week. Norma's set her alarm. Julie's been watching YouTube tutorials. Thank you for joining into ours tonight. All right, Janine, maybe pop something in your phone and then have it so that it's blocked out for your calendar. So just keep, it's really stuck on there, so I just don't want to rush it and break it. Julie, you can clean it if you want afterwards. I try to avoid touching it as much as possible so that I don't have to clean it. I find that every single time I clean, it ends up with worse streaks or fluff or whatever. So I try not to touch it if I can. Norma's going to look for Christmas ideas. Now, are we talking, Norma, are we talking presents for you, presents for other people, things you can make? What kind of ideas are you looking for? Wendy, it is preferred to use the strong grip mat because it is stronger and has sturdier, but I have seen people use successfully the green mat. I would not recommend the blue mat. It would not have enough grip on it. And likewise, I probably wouldn't waste a pink mat on it. All right, I'm pretty much at the end of it. I'll get rid of my rubbish here. I'm so sorry, Jessie, that it's sold out. It's been hugely popular. And they did sell out for Paul as well. It's only been 20 minutes since she put the stock up. Yes, you should get a notification, Janine. So I'm just going to plug this so you all know that the makers have a USB port on the side of it. If I can plug it in properly. And you'll see when I pop this in, this baby will roar. So it's kind of hard to see. It's probably a good thing that I've got black on. Don't know if you can see that well. It's your night light. So I've just popped that in there, so that's how your acrylics work. Alrighty, so decorating ideas to make with the Cricut and Lego. Righto, so Sharon's waiting patiently to see if we are going to get the foiling kits here in Australia when Cricut releases it. And Wendy's been watching Cricut tutorials today, and it just happened to be a fluke finding this live tutorial. So thanks so much. Glad to have you. I'm so happy to have some new subscribers as well as our old ones from over on Cricut for Australians. Righto, so Sharon has tried to drop a little snippet to try and get me to speak. So it's worthwhile just mentioning before we get into the other fun stuff that next tutorial, and I didn't say next week, so the next tutorial that will be happening, it will be done by Paul, and it will be over on his channel, which is Scissors Paper Paul. Now, you've all probably been on Facebook today, you've all probably been on YouTube and seen a whole bunch of stuff that's been happening this afternoon. So it's only fair that Paul will go live on Saturday at 12 noon. I know, it's like you get like this little bonus live in there. But he's going to go live on Saturday at 12 noon to talk all things foiling kit. Like, I'm talking, I don't even know what he's going to do, but I'm going to say that he's going to tell you all about the tips, how to design your stuff so that you can use the foiling tips, how you can draw and cut and foil at the same time. You name it, he's probably going to cover it. And who better than the king of cards? Like, let's be honest, I would probably not be the best person to talk about foiling, but Paul will be amazing at it, I'm sure. So, just be patient. There'll be a bit of an announcement in the morning on Cricut Australia New Zealand Facebook page, which will talk about which suppliers in Australia will have and New Zealand will have the product. It will talk about how much it's going to cost. It'll talk about when it will be available for purchase. So stay tuned tomorrow morning on the Cricut ANZ page. As soon as I can, I'm sure Paul or I will share it to Cricut for Australians as well as our own personal Facebook pages. So just keep an eye out. Just make sure you've liked all of the pages. So the Cricut Australia New Zealand page, Scissors Paper Paul on Facebook, Nat's Crafty Life on Facebook. We'd love you to like Scissors Paper Paul and Nat's Crafty Life on Instagram, as well as Cricut for Australians on Instagram. And of course, if you haven't already and you've stumbled across this, please go and join Cricut for Australians because let me check my comments before I tell you the last amazing thing that is relevant to us. So, what do we got here? Yes, Carol, it definitely looks awesome when it's done deeper. The great thing about this, it has the light to light it up. Hi, Elise. Yes, Carol, he did do a short tutorial, but the great thing about our lives on now YouTube is that it's interactive. So you can ask him questions, you can get all the goss. At the moment, he did a 4-minute video that, might have brushed over a few of the details. He's going to give you an in-depth look at foiling. So, and that's what it's all about. He'll talk to you about doing it with different types of line types. And, he's a professional at it. I'm going to drop him in that one. So, I've been talking about how there's some exciting news with laser blanks, which is obviously an acrylic blank, or not just acrylic, but an acrylic and plywood type of blanks business in Australia. Now, they have very generously donated a gift for us to run a competition. So, over on Cricut for Australians, when I finish this live, I'm going to create a post. Now, this competition is only eligible for anybody who posts in the group and comments on that thread. Now, what we want to know is plain and simple. We just want to know what you would love to make with something from Laser Blanks. Now, I want you to go through their website, have a look at what they have available. Tell us what you would love to make. So even if you send a screenshot of what it is and say you would love to make this for your daughter, or you'd love to engrave this bookmark or whatnot, but head on over to their website, have a look, get some inspiration, and tell us what you would love to make with their products. This competition will be run until midnight next Wednesday, and the winner will be announced on the next live on Thursday, which coincidentally will be mine because Paul's doing the little super duper one. So what we would love for you to do is jump on over, do that, and the lucky winner will win a $75 voucher to spend at Laser Blanks. I'm serious. $75, guys. I would go crazy. I've already started bookmarking what I'd love with it. So, jump on over, give me my 10 minutes to get a post happening, and keep telling us what you want. I'll check some of the comments. Yes, Deidre, he definitely teased you. Julie needs a nanny to watch all of the videos. I'm hoping that means to look after your kids while you watch the videos, not to watch them for you and paraphrase them back. But yes, I'm going to let you guys go. Remember, noon, midday on Sunday over on Scissor Paper Paul. He will be doing some more foiling with you guys. Well, he'll be doing foiling with you guys, not more. And I will post the competition details in Cricut for Australians Facebook group. And we can't wait to see who becomes the lucky winner. Such an amazing prize. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being so good for my first YouTube live. And I can't wait to see you guys next time. All right, guys. Bye.